So let's do a quick recap about what we saw last time. Um, we hello again. Aji had to he was not feeling well, so we have another invite, another guest. Actually, let me get everything ready. And please, let's welcome Stephanie Brasil. Hello, Stephanie. Uh,
Hello.
Want to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been following in the chat. I'm Stephanie, and I work in the same team as Fernando here at thoughtbot. Um, yeah, I have never contributed to FactoryBot, so looking forward to doing that together.
Also worth mentioning that Stephanie, it's a maintainer herself. It's it Faker, right? Or
Yeah,
no?
Faker Ruby.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
Faker
you're right.
Ruby.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we have a lot of people who have not contributed to FactoryBot, but we have done a couple of things here and there, so that's also exciting. Um, so let's do a quick recap on where we left last time. We did some interesting findings. Actually, I was already sharing my screen, but I need to put this here. So this is the issue we're working on. I'm gonna share that again, just in case people is joining at this point. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
that one, and I'm also gonna put that as a banner.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working on this one, and we already have like a reproduction script. It's
Mm-hmm.
here where we discovered. I mean, we're not the first people discovering this bug because it seems that this issue has been raised several times in the past. Um, yeah, we have pretty much we have the first case that we have a duplicate ID that we should have a default value, but for some reason, when we create a factory for Realtor without overriding the default value, we could get nil instead of the default value. And on top of that, we also have like, okay, I want to override the default value, but we are still getting an error. Am I in the right repo? Yes. So yeah, this is running. I want to also, okay, let's recap, and then there are a couple of good, interesting comments and suggestions how we can propose a fix for this. So definitely we're gonna take a look at those. Yep, that's definitely one. And actually, that's where we were taking a look. We have this. Our guess is, or our guess is that the fact that the attributes called underscore ID, it's something special or it's something doing like, okay, that's why we're not getting the expected value. And Codemeister pointed out that aliases, which is this part, that we are generating some aliases for, and we have, or we see something that might be similar to the issue that we have. Also, let's go back to the issue. I mean, we already went through this. Aji and myself put a script together just to be able to reproduce, which is the same that we're taking a look right now. And then there's another comment, and used pointed out that again, this is not the first time we have this issue has been raised. So I went through this during the break. There are a couple of workarounds, which are really, I mean, they are workarounds, so they are not the final solution. So I think what we could do at the very least is try to include that workaround as part of the. If we go back to the README, we have the book for FactoryBot. So
Mm.
probably, I mean, that would be the least that we can do if we cannot fix the issue, because again, that seems that it's been an issue for a long time, and also there are different opinions on how to fix this. So we can also discuss from the chat and also have some of your feedback, Stephanie, to see what you think. But at least we have a section here about the reference. No,
Mhm.
the cookbook. So probably the cookbook is, like we have like repeated situations that where we have a solution for. So at the very least, we can probably add an entry or try to see how we can add an entry to a cookbook, like a attributes with the underscore id suffix, and then just pretty much gather the knowledge that we have and probably a couple of workarounds. That would be a good I mean, it's a workaround, but at least making this more visible, that's gonna help in case we cannot like start have like a working PR at the end of the session. Um, but yeah, this is one of the workarounds that it suggested. Use iteration, pretty much the same. This is the value and this is the duplicated ID, and then override the initialize with. Um,
Mhm.
and also we have let's see, another thing is, or another option that is just like, oh, we can probably
Mhm.
check that we don't create an alias for an existing attribute name. So we use like, okay, if it is a valid attribute, that's fine. um for this option, or at least what I read from this issue that has like more details and opinions, is that the the fact that we are using a convention from Rails in a code base that in theory it's framework agnostic, which is the case for FactoryBot. That's where we have some issues, because we also discuss
Mhm.
this, right? Like for Rails, the underscore ID has a different meaning. There's a convention about that, and this works for associations when we can do this, like pass a duplicated like a underscore ID, when we can pass the ID, or we can pass the name of the attribute or the association and then pass the object, and that works. And that works for Rails, but in the context of a non-Rails app, which is this case, this is still valid. And if I'm not using Rails, this should be
Mhm.
working as expected without like the expectation that there is an association with this name. And I think that's part of the frustration, because it's like using a Rails convention, but you might not
Mhm.
be using Rails for this one, or maybe you're using Rails but you are not working with the convention. So that is the general, or that is the status of this issue. So one option is what Codemeister suggests, like maybe just do a check, like, hey, is there any attribute that already has this name? If that's the case, we don't create an alias. And if we don't have that, let's just create the alias. That could be one option that we can explore. Uh, there's something, another comment from Christoph, sorry. Looking at other issue raised because this behavior factory bot should not break existing use. Definitely, it should be. We should think of backwards compatible, or if we're gonna break things, that should be a completely new release.
Mhm.
Um, there was approach maybe raise an error on explicit declaration of an alias in combination with an option to allow it. Yeah, I saw this also on one of the issues. Like provide that option. This is like, hey, maybe just letting factory bot that, hey, don't create any alias because I don't want to do this. It's just I know what I'm doing, and just let me do the things, even though it's not what you expect. I think compared to the other one, the one for the like checking an attribute, uh, I mean that could work. But again, what is an attribute? What would be the definition of an attribute? It's like pretty much any method name. Is there like
Mhm.
a reader for a specific instance variable? I think it's probably a little bit vague. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Stephanie?
Mhm. Yeah, I have a few things in mind, and thank you everyone for sharing more thoughts about it. Um, I would be curious. So, do you know what's the if I am using FactoryBot and I'm using it in a Rails application, do I have to use FactoryBot Rails, or I can
Uh,
just get around with FactoryBot?
I think you can, if I recall correctly, there's a section where you can do the setup manually. Uh, in practical, as a practical case, I always go directly to the gem and don't bother like setting things manually. But if I recall correctly, there's a section about setup, and I think that one includes. Hold on, where is it? I know it should be somewhere. Real storages. Setup. It's here. Yeah, because if you see here, oh well, this is directly pointing to FactoryBot Rails, even though it's a FactoryBot. So my guess is that there was a point when instead of adding setup to FactoryBot, like, oh, let's create just a specific gem to do the setup.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I don't have the answer. I don't know if it can be you can set up factory rails with the factory bot in Rails without the factory bot Rails.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, because the reason I asked that is because, and folks are also pointing out, David Harris is also pointing out, in that reproduction script, we are not using FactoryBot Rails, right? We're calling
mhm.
FactoryBot directly. And if
Yep.
this, so out of curiosity, what happens if we just change FactoryBot to FactoryBot Rails? What do we get there? Because
Hmm.
that would be, that's what the guides are saying. If I'm using Rails, to use FactoryBot Rails instead. But
Um,
even if this is a FactoryBot issue, I do agree it might be a fix in FactoryBot Rails. But
yeah, that someone else mentioned again. I don't have the exact point of the comments, but something about like the long time and probably the solution that might be this thing. It's something. It's
mm,
probably similar to what you mentioned. Like FactoryBot should be agnostic. Like it does know nothing about Rails convention, so it does not support or it's not doing any magic when we have like underscore ID. But if we want to keep supporting that specific to Rails, maybe that behavior should be moved to FactoryBot Rails, which I think it makes sense because you are expected to use the Rails conventions if you are using the FactoryBot Rails, but
yes.
you cannot guarantee the opposite. Like, yeah, I have to use the Rails convention in just plain FactoryBot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think that this is probably the solution that I think it would be the best because you're still keeping the behavior, but you're moving that to FactoryBot Rails. And for FactoryBot, again, it's probably gonna require a new release because that's still a breaking change, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't have a way to know that there's people that it's only using FactoryBot without the on Rails without the FactoryBot Rails gem. So we don't know. So we should keep that.
Mm-hmm.
But well, let me rephrase that. For the background is like we're not maintainers of the gem, so we're just gonna we want to contribute. So those decisions could be made by the maintainers and probably with some feedback from the community, which already we have a lot of feedback on the comments. Um, but yeah, in general, there are workarounds, so we can document those in case that things are not working. But yeah, let's try to take a look at the code because it's also something that we want to do as part of this event. Just how we start exploring the code base. Again, it's a code base that we're not familiar with, even though we work at Thoughtbot, but we have not contributed. So it's a similar case than the rest of the people or most of the people who join in the chat that they want to contribute, but they don't know they're still exploring the code base.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just one thing that I wanted to point out that is leading me to go with what we're discussing here of moving this to FactoryBot Rails is because there is already an issue that is recommending moving a stub strategy from FactoryBot to FactoryBot Rails. So I think
Mm.
that is the direction that we want to take. Keep FactoryBot agnostic.
Do you
Um,
remember if do you know that
yeah,
issue? It's here or it's on FactoryBot Rails?
I
Because I
think
think
it's
that
in there. Try searching for stub strategy. Uh,
this one.
yeah, that one.
The stub strategy is specific to Active Record. It exists to create a stuff of Active Record model instances. Therefore, it should live in FactoryBot Rails. My hope is that by doing this, we'll need to refactor some code and add some hooks. This could allow for better hooks for writing strategies, meaning people could make more of their own. Yeah, I think it's on the same direction
Mhm.
for what we want to do. Um, so, since we have the power to decide either we want to contribute to FactoryBot or FactoryBot Rails, how can we start? Again, probably we won't get this done because we have like an hour and a quarter, but at least what would be
Mhm.
a good way to start this moving? Because definitely I agree that I think that's probably the ideal case, to keep things separated.
Yeah. I think maybe as I start, I would move the reproduction script to FactoryBot Rails, confirm that we also can reproduce it with FactoryBot Rails, and then we
Mhm.
go from there. We
Okay,
take
that's
a
definitely
look
a
at
good point.
FactoryBot, see how,
Okay.
yeah,
Uh, you
that's my idea, but
Yeah, no, definitely that makes sense because that way we can see if that's the correct thing to do. Um, Taking a look at the templates that you share, because I don't think, or let's see, I don't think it's gonna be as easy as just change factory bot rails and this is gonna work.
mm-hmm.
Probably we need to do like a new Rails app from scratch, or maybe if there's like a simpler. Actually, let me try to open the pull report templates, active records. Let me see if we have something useful.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, it's probably the other one. This is just the news. Let's see which one it is. Templates. So it book templates. Action view. Um, let's see this. GSE. Yeah, if you have also that, because I know that you have probably used the templates in the past, so
Yeah.
I don't.
Let me find it here. I was gonna copy from StreamYard, but once you comment, you can't click on it. You can
Uh,
only display it.
yeah,
Um,
you can share that probably directly to me, and then I can just grab that one and fetch it.
yeah, let me.
Because we have here, but is this for active record? I don't know if we. Oh yeah, that work. Let
Mhm.
me move this here.
Yeah,
So, which one should we use? It's just the active record, or probably
I
that
think
could be
so.
enough. Okay, let's see. Rails SQLite 3. I mean, it's similar to what we have. So probably what we
Mhm.
have, it's gonna work. Probably what we have, it's gonna work. I mean, I don't see a lot of just the bundler inline. It's the only thing that I see different. Um,
Yeah, maybe.
Let me grab. Hold on, no, I
Oh,
don't need everything.
the text is different. I don't know if that
Mhm.
makes a difference. How we're defining the text. We are inheriting from active support instead of mini text.
I'm gonna keep the.
But
I mean, yeah, maybe I don't need to copy and paste everything. Probably just nothing, to be honest. I mean, we have the inline, we have the gems, we don't have rails, which I think we need that. That's the thing that I saw that it's different. What else we're including? Active record, mini test, or run, factory vote rails. We need factory vote rails also.
oh yeah. Um,
Let's use the latest because I don't know what it's latest
but
version. Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know if it matters, but I like to keep use the same versions that are being reported in the issue.
Oh yeah. Let's see which one is. 'Cause I don't know if
Oh,
it's mentioned.
actually, in
What?
the issue, I'm sorry, I just realized now. They say that they are using FactoryBot Rails.
In
So
this one, right?
yeah, I thought it was just FactoryBot, but it is with
Oh,
FactoryBot.
then this is probably the wrong place for the issue. That's
I
probably the
think
first one.
so. Yeah, but it's okay. We can.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean it's strongly related to.
yeah.
Um, So let's try use this then 620.
Yeah,
620.
I could swear it was just FactoryBot, but now I realize I
Yeah,
had
well,
to do
we
it.
also thought we also thought the same. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see. I think I just call this FB. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
the font larger
Hmm.
just in case. There are more comments. Yeah, German factory bot
Right.
Rails.
I would also keep the Rails version from the reproduction script
Yeah,
just to,
and also the Ruby version because I
yeah.
think I'm using. Okay, let me stop this. Hold on. I think I'm using 355. Oops, 355. So let's go to use what is here 321, and we should have this now. Okay, 321. Let's do bundle again. Oh, hold on. We're not. We don't have a bundle gem file. Um, Rails was which
7-0.
708. I think it should work, and we don't have any other specification. So actually, we can probably remove active record because it's already included in Rails. But let's see if this works.
Hmm. Let's see.
Okay, while we wait. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say while we wait. I was gonna ask about aliases in FactoryBot. I don't. Is that something that happens behind the curtains? I don't remember ever using that.
We can take a look at the code. To be honest, I
Hmm.
also don't know what it's the use for aliases, so we can try to take a look. I mean, we have just aliases, so let's try to find aliases in the code base. Oh, actually, the getting started has a
Okay.
section about this, so probably we have something here. Yeah, okay, let's read. Yeah, I don't remember to use those also. Um, okay, allows you to define analysis of existing factories. Oh, okay. No, I've used these then. That you might have like a very generic model, and you want to make just a more specific factory. Like, yeah, it's a user, but what kind of user? Oh, it's an author or it's a commenter. But what I
Hmm.
don't know, it's how these aliases interfere with the issue reported. Because I mean, it's not obvious for me. Um, but yeah, it's pretty much that. Like one use case when you have a post that has an author, which is a user as a model, but you can just call it author.
Hmm.
Um, mhm. So alias your user factories can be used under alias names. Okay. I don't know if there's other part where to use that, but yeah, it's interesting how that affects. Oh, actually, there's another section in sequences. Sequences aliases. So probably it's this one.
Hmm.
Sequences can also have aliases. The sequence aliases share the same counter. Okay, sender and receiver will increase value counter for email, which is shared by sender. Okay, it's just like a share. Okay, define aliases and use default. Sorry, default aliases and use huh? Default aliases and use default value.
Oh, that define aliases and use the full value one for the counter.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Define aliases and use one as default value for the counter. Okay, yeah. I think the wording was threw me off a little bit. Okay, so yeah, you pretty much create again the aliases and then you use it. But again, yeah, I don't know how this affects the,
Hmm.
the current issue, but that's definitely interesting, and we can probably try to take a look at that one. So let's go back to aliases. Also, we had a spec for this, if I recall correctly, that we were also taking a look to try to understand. Is it this one? Yeah, I think it's the one that we're taking a look. Let me just see this one. Yeah, describe aliases for an attribute. I think it's this one, or just the context where we are getting the error. For an attribute should include the original attribute and a version suffix with.
Mhm.
Actually, let me with ID. Yeah, I think this is the file we were taking a look at.
Okay.
And then test ID only has test ID. After defining aliases, the list of aliases should include a variant with no suffix at all and one with the ID suffix. Okay. You have already activated timeout. Okay, let's do what? Bundle exec to your command? Which command?
Mhm.
Would that work? Bundle exec Ruby? No, I don't think it's gonna work, is it? No, because we don't have a gem file, so
Yeah.
what is this? Which gem file requires
I know.
the
So,
Rails gem file? Is that? Um,
um,
okay, let's take a look again at the this thing. Yeah, source file.
maybe you can pin the timeout version to
Yeah,
041.
let's try that. So we should use, but the gem file requires this one. So let's use this. Is that what you suggest? Use or the other one? Timeout.
Oh, I think, yeah, the other one, 041.
Let's try that. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
I've
not sure.
I've been finding those versions errors from when installing apps
Oops.
so much crypted than they were. I think something changed.
Can you say that again? I got a little bit lost.
Oh no, I was just commenting that nowadays the error messages that we get from when installing an app, they're I feel like they were more clear before.
Mm,
I don't know what happened, but
yeah, because that was about like collision of versions, but
yeah.
same. I'm not really sure what's going on. Uh, okay, let's see. Yeah, I mean the test should this pretty much should work as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, we try to use that.
So
Okay, so we have the aliases. We can continue exploring the code. So if we want to do that, we have the duplicated ID. So this test is still pretty much valid,
mm,
but we also were trying to take a look at the how are we creating. I think that's called. That's probably. I mean, for this case, we're using create strategy
mm,
for our test. So I want to see where. Okay, FactoryBot strategy create. So we should strategy create,
actually,
which is this one. Then that's the result. Okay, so we should have a place where it's doing that call to create, I don't know, probably some meta programming,
mm-hmm.
build class, run human names associations. Um, yeah, I'm moving very fast, sorry. Class name, attributes, find definitions, probably should be, I don't know, where could be version factory, but this is just requires Yeah, I don't think we have anything interesting there. Have the definitions, attributes. Yeah, I kind of also remember a mention about the aggregate. I think it was where I saw this one. No, I think that never mind. It was for another issue with the callbacks issue. They mentioned that part.
Hmm.
Um, let's take a look at another again at this. Yeah, there are a lot of issues,
Hmm.
and again, yeah, this is like an assumption from that FactoryBot should not do better document. Ah, okay. At the very least, I think we need better documentation around this
Mhm.
and the config. And yeah, agree. Definitely, this is the solution. Uh, there are some workarounds, which is what we already know. The you do after B official solution. Some hacking iterations. Skip aliases. That's another suggestion. But again, if we want to move things from FactoryBot to FactoryBot Rails, probably the first thing we need to do is I think that's a good point. That if we really want to remove the assumption that underscore ID should do something special for FactoryBot, that's definitely going to be a breaking change.
Mhm.
That should be released with a breaking change, or at least an upgrade for FactoryBot Rails. Um, so yeah, I think if I mean, it's a big deal to have any version, but I also think that's a way to do. And the sooner we do the change, the better. Okay, let's try to find what is. Well, let's see if this works. Oof. No, error load is equal like 3.
Oh no.
Reactivated again. That's another. Oh,
Let's
let me
see.
see. Let's try to use the template because I mean, let's see the template again because I don't know. Maybe we're missing something. I'm gonna just put things side by side because that usually that's usually what I do. I try to see what it's the okay bundling the line. So that's fine. Rails and SQLite 3, that's fine. Active record factory, but
Mhm.
Rails, test other one, that's fine. That's the database connection. We're not at that point yet. So no, it's still in the setup, but I don't know what it's okay. Error loading, SQLite 3 adapters, and a gem, it depends on already activated. Why?
Yeah. I had the same error.
Oh,
Um.
is that what prevents you from installing this last time?
Yeah. I was like,
Uh,
I don't think I'm gonna figure this out in
hmm.
time. What I see SQLite 3 version 162 in the gen file log,
Oh, okay. And I did
but that's
not.
for 644 of
Hmm.
FactoryBot Rails.
But okay, what could it be?
Because it's saying
Because we're already using this. We're using 211.
211.
Should we specify 211?
Ah, let's try that.
Because maybe it's trying to use the other.
Yeah. Ah, dependencies.
Yeah, this is the funny part.
Yeah. I remember seeing something about SQLite before on a specific version from Rails, I think, that it started breaking, but
Hmm.
I didn't get, I didn't keep up to date on that.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened, but
We close. We do some cleanup in the meantime. Yeah, this is where I saw the other the reference about this part, but no, it's a different issue.
Mhm.
Factories to use so this one is not. This is the one that we sent. Well, it's related to the one that we sent this morning. Drop support 0. Um. Okay. What else we can do? We can, as we mentioned, try to at least document that better
Yeah.
with a workaround. But this is okay. What is this? What is this? This is probably a different repo. Where is it from? Where is this coming from? I don't know. Is there like a source
Oh,
license? No, it's the same. I think. Is it? Oh, it's probably docs, right?
I think, yeah, might
Yeah,
be.
we have the source. Yeah,
Okay.
we have the cookbook here. Yeah, and we have the sections. Okay. Is there
Oh,
a way to run this locally? Let's see if there's something
oh,
in
yeah.
docs. 'Cause it's just like a tumble.
Let's see if they have any docs like that.
Mm, is there something contributing?
Information, contributing.
Cleanup issues. Yeah, I don't see anything for the dogs.
Oh, yeah. The docs don't have a README either.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, yep. There's a good remainder from Sarah. You can
Oh,
still
cool.
submit things. I remember there was a section when they mentioned what are we using. Is intro? No, this is intro for cookbook. Yeah, I cannot
Mm.
find something to document this. So probably. Uh, oh, maybe I think we generate this. Do we have something to? Yeah, docs. Let's see.
Oh, nice. So probably once
Um,
it's merged,
yeah,
it fits.
it's auto generated. So we need this thing called MD book, which is a Rust thing. Let me take a look. We might have a easier way to install.
Hmm. What do you
Oh,
think of just opening a PR on GitHub directly?
yep, we can do that. Definitely. Uh, okay,
'Cause
let's grab the last. I mean, it's not an issue report. It's the. Yeah, let's just.
yeah.
Should we open direct APR? And oh, I want to. I wanted to grab the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it was something about this one. So it's 16. So any.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. We don't have a branch, so yeah, we need to build something locally. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to have like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Or
Mm.
should we try just take a look at this thing? Because maybe.
Yeah. Maybe we can do that.
Mm, do you have what processor do you have? Is this like an M1 or it's still an
Yeah.
Intel? Because I'm using Intel, so.
Now mine is M1 and I'm getting that
Hmm.
error as well. I've tried uninstalling SQLite and installing again. I ended up having a bunch of SQLite versions.
Hmm.
Um,
Do we have like a better error if we install SQLite directly? Like install SQLite 3.
yeah. If that doesn't work, I would try next.
Because that's working. 211. 211.
See, file log. Yeah, I see. Yeah, if that doesn't work, we can try installing a specific version of SQLite because that's updating. That's installing 211.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, Rail 7 probably requires a different one.
mhm.
Let's see.
0.03 development. Oh, yeah. It looks like for that version of Rails, we need SQLite 1.4.
Hmm.
I could
Okay.
try that.
It's one for
Yeah, it's just 1.4.
1.4.
Yeah.
Let's see if this works. Yeah, 1.4.0.
SQLite, where are you? Oh, yeah, you can try 1.4.2, I think.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, okay, that's the culprit.
Let me take a look at my notes because I might have run into this issue where you have probably specified you might need to specify a flag.
Oh, I see.
But I don't see what it's this. Yeah, probably we might have here
Mhm.
pointer.
Hello.
Actually, let me try to find this. There might be something about this issue. Yeah, mixed messages. Yeah, it's. I mean, I think I have the dev tools. I
Mhm.
might not, but I want to double check. That's not really useful. Let's see.
SQLite
Finding
2.
and deploy. Okay.
Mm.
Something about the gateway. No, that's not our case. I don't know. Do I have that? Let's see. Maybe I don't have that. I think we only needs to do. Let's see. That's SQLite 3. I mean, I should have that,
Yeah.
but probably not. It could be. I don't use SQLite, so that might be the issue.
Mhm. I remember running into this with my SQL, but it's been a while since I've
Hmm.
used.
Yeah, it's already there, so that's not the issue.
Um,
Hmm.
let's see.
Try
SQL
to find something to reproduce that one.
rules stuff.
Stuck inside. Uh, for Windows, no. We want permission denied.
Oh, so when I had the same trouble with my SQL,
Mhm.
I had to pass some OpenSSL flags and also tell Ruby. So it says in the MySQL 2 docs, since most Ruby projects use bundler, you can set build options in the bundler config rather than manually.
Mhm.
That is applicable to MySQL, but I think we can try something like this. We just change to SQLite because the error is like compilation, right?
Yeah, and I remember I've seen these for other gems. So I'm almost sure it's a flag, but I don't remember what is the flag. Installing RVM? No, that's not the solution. Can I install SQLite? Can I install Metasploit? Oof, I cannot find anything. That's a shame. Just
Yeah.
remove this.
Let me see.
Uh, okay, how can we? Oh, let's try that actually. Oh, but that's for my SQL too. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, I found one
Okay.
for MySQL. Oh, SQLite.
Because I see a lot of. Okay. Oh yeah, that's like setting the config. So next time you do
Mm-hmm.
the bundle thing, I've seen this. Is it in bundle? Okay, I wanted to check that, but let's try to see this. Can Yeah, it's pretty much the with SQLite 3 live and then specifying, which I don't think it's the case. Okay, how can we move?
Yeah.
I mean, even though we cannot set up this locally, at least for now, how can we do meaningful progress? What
Yeah.
would be a good idea?
Everyone's installation parts is always the hardest. I think
Yeah,
we can create a branch on FactoryBot for now
mm-hmm.
and document all of those things that we found. And that
Okay.
I think we could also let me now one step at a time. Yeah, maybe we can
Yeah.
open the branch, adding that
Okay.
to the doc.
How
And
can to the? Do you mean the documentation book or to this part?
hmm, do we have like I don't know where to place that, but it could be in FactoryBot in the docs somewhere.
Uh,
Like I don't
yeah.
know if we have a
I mean, for do you mean for the workaround?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have these. We don't have like a workaround section,
Mm-hmm.
but we have the cookbook. The cookbook is the go-to place for creative solutions to common situations. That's
Okay.
what makes me think that we can put that
Yeah.
here. Okay, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
How can I call these?
Uh, Document
Add
use.
workaround for attributes with underscore
Mm-hmm.
and with okay underscore id. Okay, that's a very good name. Uh, and then we have docs here, source, and we had good book, so we can add something here.
Yeah. Can
And
be its own
then
entry.
okay, short. Let's get a short one. Associations, probably this one. No, polymorphic. I think this is the shortest one. So let's duplicate. And we can call this. How are we calling this? Attributes with.
Um, yeah. Attributes with ID suffix. I don't.
Say, yep.
But yeah. But I also don't know how people would search for this if they're encountering that problem. But we can maybe it's the harder part, but we can find something. We can rename it later.
Yeah, I agree. Attributes with ID with ID suffix. Yeah, because that's the first part. Is having the documentation and then make it that widely available.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so how can we describe this thing? Let's see. Let's bring the issue that it's
I think
referencing.
it's important to mention right away that, so for example, when using FactoryBot in a Rails app
Mm-hmm.
and having columns following this pattern, something like this, you might run into this error.
Mm-hmm.
Not this
Okay.
error, but this situation.
Unexpected behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can we describe that? I mean, I definitely get the idea, but
um, how about when using FactoryBot in a Rails application and defining factories for factory attributes, I guess, for columns ending with ID.
Factory attributes or columns attributes?
Yeah, I think in factories attributes. Yeah.
Ending with
Yeah.
Michael's and
Unexpected behavior.
unexpected
Yeah.
behavior. Then we can put example, which is pretty much the factory we have here. Actually, I think this is just introduce. Oh, hold on. If we remove this, is this still failing? I mean, I'm gonna return everything to just use FactoryBot. Because I did not check if it's related to, which I think it is, because we have realtor. So we have duplicate, and that create the duplicate the alias, and we have the attribute. So I just want to make sure that that was the case. Actually, let me. I should have the complete code here. Hold on. Yeah, it's this one. And I'm gonna just delete the thing we changed. This thing. And let me just run this again. This should work now because we're back to the to what we were to the reproduction.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe in the code we can add a snippet of the table as well. Just for example, so in the doc, maybe we can have a small snippet of how the column, how the database structure is. So for example, consider this this table and this factory. When you, after creating the factory, you would expect it to have a value, but it's actually new.
Okay. Let me just put in this reference. Just to work. Like this is not the workable part, and then we may have factory. Okay. And then let's grab what we have here. Fine. And then we don't need these trade things. And then we have like probably the same block, just a different section. Or actually, let's use what it's in this part in some spec. Just that we have this one, and this is actually like this thing. And I'm just gonna do this on a separate section. So this is Ruby, and this is another block. Okay, let me just keep this. So come here, and this is the end of the Ruby, and this is the other one. And then we can, okay, we use it in a REST application. If anyone has an expected behavior.
Yeah. And then we can mention the workarounds that we found. Here are some workarounds.
Yeah, actually, let's test the workaround. What's going on now?
Oh no, I've already activated securing them.
Oh, I think I changed the Ruby version because
oh, that is true.
I did the setup with the other one. I think it was, if I recall correctly, 3.5.5 probably. No, let me see the list of Rubies, but I was using the latest.
Oh, I think it's 3.3.5.
3.3.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
3.5.
Way ahead.
2 years from now.
Now this should work. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think we can mention that, and then related. I don't know if we want to mention related issues in in the docs.
Uh, Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Just like there's this piece of knowledge because there's an error that we know that you might run into.
Mm-hmm.
And here's just which I think it's gonna be pretty much similar to other entries in the cookbook. For example, this is not really an issue. It's just a suggestion on how to do things, like a
Yeah.
like really common. Uh, Same for this. Actually, it's just like some advice on how to do things. And yeah, we don't have like a proper like troubleshooting or like
Yeah.
pitfalls or common things. So I think that this seems to be the best in in the meantime. So yeah,
Yeah.
we can mention, let's test the workaround locally, and
Mm-hmm.
because again it's just like one idea. Definitely it's, or we can also explain why this is happening.
Yeah.
Mhm. How can I describe this issue? Mhm.
Um. So
Okay, I think I have an idea. A fix for this could be to make sure the special behavior related to underscore ID is exclusive to FactoryBot Rails. Right. Since FactoryBot is framework agnostic. Workaround
mhm.
can be, and then we export the workaround. If we can make this run again, I don't know why it's not. Okay, now it's working again.
Yay.
So let's see.
Mm-hmm.
We have the repression script. So what they suggest is use transient
Mm-hmm.
and then override the initialize with when we're merging the attributes from the, and then specify which attributes to override. Um, I mean, if that works, definitely for a workaround, that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try this with our operation with a sample. So oops. So instead of having this as attribute, let me just mark this coming, and then this should exit. It's pretty much the same. So pretty much just wrapping up this user demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see if that's working. Because again, also what I read is that people might have like different cases, and maybe this workaround is not
Yeah.
um, it's not a specific,
Mm-hmm.
or better say, it's not like a general enough to for all cases.
Yeah.
I definitely want to take a closer look into the code because I want to try to get a general understanding of why this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, for example, I don't know is that only exclusive to create? Does it happen on build or any other of those strategies? I don't know.
Well,
Can
that's a good
try
point.
that. Yeah, because field definitely it's simpler because we're only evaluating the after build. And for this one, we have after build before create, and the create, and then the after create. So we have more. We're doing way more things. Mhm.
Yeah. We can. I think this is a start, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, and then when we open the PR and we mention that issue, we can maybe also extract. Maybe I would create an issue on FactoryBot Rails
Mhm.
to handle that in FactoryBot Rails, and then once that is fixed, it should fix all of those issues in FactoryBot.
Yeah, I like that. Let's see if we let's explore if we don't have anything else related to. I mean, the standard namespace agent spec, disable new release, public attributes. Okay, that's not related, but I want to take a look at that one. Create returns and define method ID for module. Let's see, we have something about it. Probably no. Attributes with similar name root and use. Oh, this looks very similar.
Oh,
No, not so let's see. No, is this one?
this.
Yeah, I have a module scheduler with two fields with similar names, a schedule and a schedule ID. Yeah, that's pretty much the
Mm.
same. Okay, so we try to select. Yeah, if I try to explicitly set a schedule ID gets set to nil. There is some issues with both this fact attributes my factory has a
Oh.
name schedule. Just let simplified. Yeah, I think I've seen this example on probably one of the issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is nil. I need to override on daytime attribute.
Interesting.
Hmm. Let's see what it. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So it got it got close to reference. Wow, we're finding so many stuff.
Yeah, it's like a
Cool.
very long-standing issue.
But that one is closed as well. What was the solution or decision? Um,
Yeah, it's pretty much what we're mentioned. Like, don't use that
mhm,
because this is used by active record, but FactoryBot should not be related to active record.
basically, specifically the
I'll
concept. Make
license
sure.
extract that domain concept into separate model manages as such. And this is the one that we were taking. This is the original one. No, this is the other one. Yeah, it's a long one. Yeah, that's definitely good. I think
Yeah.
we probably picked the issue that has been uh like open for the longest time. I
Yeah.
mean, that was not on purpose, but yeah, exactly. It's like Factor Girl. Well, this is the previous name, but yeah, that should be agnostic. So yeah, fact the agnostic
Mhm.
one should not care about the underscore ID. I agree. And this is the one that we saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
Everything points to that. So let's mention that things when you have um, column ending with ID, it will clash. I don't know with
yeah,
active
like
record, and we can create the issue in FactoryBot Rails, the right
mhm.
repo for that, and then we document all of those things. And
Okay, yeah, that's definitely a lot of things to do.
yeah,
Yeah, because this one, I mean, it's pretty much the same.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, let's. Yeah, they give more. Hold on. No, yep. Trade ID. It's also related. What was the resolution for this? Monkey patching secret model. Uh, yeah. Oh, okay. This is the explanation that
Mm,
name and name ID it's pretty much the same, so we can have like interchangeable. That's why you can set association this or association underscore ID. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this one it's not really Rails specific, but the problem is that even though FactoryBot is not Rails specific, it's
Mm-hmm.
doing something that it seems to be Rails specific. So yeah, pretty much the solution is extracting that into just FactoryBot Rails and keeping FactoryBot like, nope,
Yeah.
you don't have that magic behavior. Ah, okay.
Yeah. We can maybe mention that, like, if you can't rename the column, because of
Oh,
course if it is a existing database, that would be tricky. But
this is also another good workaround
mm,
that you can override the aliases and then just do an
hmm,
exception for your alias. That's something that we can also mention in the docs because yeah, the long term solution it's definitely way more. It's outside of what we can do in 20 minutes, and definitely it needs some conversation with the. I like this one. Let's try this one actually
mm-hmm.
as a workaround. To be honest, I like this workaround better than the other, but it's one option. So yeah, I mean the other one work definitely using tracing work. So let's document that one. Um, well, another fix a workaround.
Mm-hmm.
No, hold on. The fix is that one. Let me just reduce, and then we can paste this one. No, hold on, not this one. The other one. There's a question. Let me
Mm-hmm.
complete this thing. Can be a workaround is can be declare to use hold on, let me pay a color.
Sure.
Illustrations to declare those attributes instead instead of a regular attribute declaration. And then okay. Okay, let's see the other comment. It's this behavior depends only solely on active record, not on Rails. In other words, if the underscore ID alias gets moved to factory but Rails, and I use active record without Rails or similar ORM like MongoID, I either need to work around and create aliases myself or stick to factory with Rails even without running Rails. Um,
Mm,
definitely that. Yeah, that's correct because you can also use active record without Rails.
that is true.
So, so yeah, then probably oh, that opens like a complete, like a different kind of worms because
Yeah.
that implies that, yeah, I mean, if good question.
Mm. That was that proposed. There was this idea of skipping aliases, of adding
Ye-
that config of skipping aliases.
Yeah, let's try that. Actually, I mean, if I were to use one workaround, I think the one related to overriding the aliases that could work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Let's try
okay,
that
let's
one.
try
Yeah.
this. Let's see. And yeah, because also the other, I mean, the same way that you can use active record without Rails, you can
Mm-hmm.
use Rails and not use active record. You can
Yeah.
use other adapter. So, oh yeah, I think definitely we picked the not the best issue for
Yeah.
starters, but
But
let's
all
go
of
take a
these
look at
things that we
this.
are finding are really helpful, right? We're kind of centralizing all of those things.
Yeah,
But
let's let's try
yeah.
this. Let's just revert back to use attributes and then just remove these things. And this is provide, well, in our case it's not provided, it should be duplicate.
Oh yeah.
Because I think this can be a good starting point to, I mean, if we do one other issue mentioned like, oh, what if we use skip aliases
Mm-hmm.
And then if we can do a skip alias as a method that receives the name of the aliases you want to skip, then we can overwrite this thing, the regular
Yeah.
expression, and then it's probably the easiest thing to do without like getting into, oh yeah, this should be part of FactoryBot or FactoryBot Rails or
Mm-hmm.
active record, FactoryBot active record or whatever. That I think that could be definitely a more like a easier fix that can also be, or like a like a workaround that doesn't feel like patching things. It's just like, okay, no, we support this, but you have to provide an array of the names of the attributes you want to not to skip the alias generation. Let's see if this work. Oh yeah, I mean my head hurts. It's a lot of
Oh,
things, but
yeah.
I have a better understanding now.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, it's tricky. There's a lot of parts involved.
Yeah, I mean, let's run this and try to create at least the PR for the documentation, and then
Mm-hmm.
we can follow up on the issues that on the existing issues, because definitely it's related to that one. Because I know we have to wrap up a little bit earlier because you're gonna present the talk, the closing talk in 20 minutes, right? Is that correct?
Uh,
Or is it
I
not?
will
I don't
leave
know.
in 20 minutes because I have to prepare, but it's in 40 minutes from now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, that's true. We have to do the wrap up and raffle. So then we have a little bit more time. Yeah, I just noticed it's 8:30 UTC. I thought it was at 8.
Oh, good.
Okay, so yeah, we still have some time. Um
I really
okay,
want to
so
see if this passes.
yeah, also, but I don't know.
What happened?
uh, I don't know if it's really, I don't know if it's slower than usual because okay, yeah, I mean we mentioned this one, but I want to bring this, which is, yeah, it's unclear because yeah, it's like we you can use any combination that you might want. So yeah, the the defined exact point where it should be, it's kind of hard. And then there's another comment: workaround with
Mhm.
adapting alias matching, it's good, but for good dev experience, alias override should still somehow warn the developer. Yep. Oh, hold on.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
I'm still using the old. Let's see. Hold on. Should we do? Is there a difference if we do? Okay, we're gonna run the test and see, find out if there's a
Mhm.
difference. But yeah, definitely yeah, I like this, that it's not something that
Mhm.
should happen without any disclaimer or any, at least like, hey, we support this, but just be aware that you are doing things not the way that they're expected. So just
Mhm.
probably like like a warning or something. I like that idea.
Yeah. This was a exploration. Yeah, but this is the reality of contributing to open
Yeah.
source. So yeah, once we create the PR and we mention it in that issue, I would love if everyone could share those thoughts there as well in the issue. So that would be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, because there's a lot of knowledge in several issues. For example, this
Yeah.
one, Alice. Yeah, because Alice seems very specific or very related to active record. So the fact that it's here, it's causing, and it's pretty much here, right? Factory
Mhm.
bot should be, probably, let's rephrase this. Actually, factory bot should be active record agnostic and not,
Mm, I like that.
because
Yes.
because definitely what it's affecting the most, it's active record and not really Rails. the part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, there
Like
was
that.
I also it's mentioned that it still has dependencies. I don't know if that's still the case. I mean, it's an old issue. Uh, let's see no, sorry, the jump spec. Um,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
well, we yeah, Active Record is still a dependency on FactoryBot. So yeah, we I mean it's again it's up to maintainers to decide like yeah it's not worth making this. I mean we want to make FactoryBot race agnostic but still Active Record dependent. If that's the case, then the current behavior should be at least documented that a this is
Mm-hmm.
happening because you're expected to use Active Record, and then just mention that FactoryBot is not really framework agnostic; it's just Active Record
Mm-hmm.
dependent, or make it agnostic and remove Active Record at all. Because yeah, it's weird to have that dependency, even though it says that we can use something else.
Yeah. But that's what I was thinking now, what David is saying. It's a development dependency, it's not a
Dependency.
runtime. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I think just for this we just need SQLite 3 and the adapter
Yeah. I,
for
I bet
the
we use it to, hmm, yeah, to just verify that it works well with Active Record, but
yeah, probably some inflections or I don't know. We
yeah.
need to take a look closer to the code. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's definitely a good point. It's a development dependency and not like a user facing dependency.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see, did it work? Yeah, that
Yeah.
also work. So we can also add that one to the list of
Okay.
workarounds. Uh, and yeah, I mean, it's hard to decide which one. But yeah, I don't think it's as the letting users to override the. I mean, they can do this,
Hmm.
but like adding some define or a specific way for users to override aliases.
Hmm.
Because I like that. I mean, that could be, and it's as I mentioned, it's like oops, probably like skip aliases for,
Yeah.
and then you have duplicate, and then
Hmm.
that's the only thing you need to do, and like behind the scenes, this is what happens.
Yeah.
That could be a good proposal. I don't know how's the chat feeling about that, and probably yeah, we should maybe do like a warning, like hey, yeah, you are overriding the aliases. That might have some issues if you're using Active Record, so just like be aware.
Hmm.
But I like this. I mean that doesn't look as bad, and we're still keeping things without a lot of changes.
Hmm.
So let's add this also to the things. You can also override the list of aliases to include the attributes you want to exclude. Ah, open source is hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we have this thing. That's good.
Yeah. I think that is really, really good. We can um get that documented first so folks are not surprised by that. There
Mhm.
are some workarounds in the meantime, and then we can um I need open source is hard on a t-shirt. And then we can mention in that issue that is the open one, but also mention all the other issues and share all that discussion that we had today about all the parts involved and the developer experience, and then that at least like if we, of course we won't solve this today, but I think we did the hardest part, which was to get the context and see some solutions for it. So,
Hmm. Okay, looks good.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I think I run into this issue. I kind of have like some memories about like having some nails, but
Mm-hmm.
that was probably a long time ago. But it's good to know. Okay, let's do this. Okay, that's our humble contribution of the day. So, I mean, it's for workarounds for attributes with underscore ID. Let's do this and let's open up PR.
Yeah.
Move this here. Uh, let's actually what you mentioned. I like what you mentioned, like getting the list of issues. So it's this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a current issue. No, this has been a recurrent
Yeah. This is a known
issue.
issue that hasn't been documented yet. Yeah.
Has not been documented in one single place. There are workarounds, in several issues. This PR attempts to have a single place where people can see two workarounds that have been tested. Actually, we can use the. Okay, just that. What else? What else we need to write about this one?
Mm-hmm.
There are background
Definitely.
several issues.
Yeah. Let me see. This is
Uh,
a not a final solution, but a short-term way to make it less surprising for users. And we will leave some suggestions on the prop on the fix on the
mhm.
issue. I know I'm talking a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's no, that's definitely fine, but yeah, probably we can make. But we want to make this less surprising for users. What else can we? Recurring.
Um, a definitive fix is still to be defined.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but we can leave some ideas in the issue. I think
Okay,
that's good.
that's enough. Yep. Definitely find a solution. It's harder to. Okay, yeah, probably this one. I think it's good. Let's do like a final check. Please find a specification. Define a factory attribute and ID make as unexpected behavior. So we have a migration specifying here. This should exist. And then create this. A fixture special to factory refactory. A workaround can be to use iterations to record to attributes everywhere. You can also write a list of aliases to include the attributes you want to exclude. Okay, good.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's send this one, this little kiddo, to have
Yeah.
some. I mean, I'm gonna also tag you. I think you are. Yeah, I saw you. I don't know who else is here. I think
Um,
you. I've seen. What is the username?
Oh yeah. Oh,
It was
drop your.
it was not a name. It was unused.
Oh yeah.
Um, and yes, yeah, it was so close. Ah, well, we are not really a reviewer, but I can ping
Unused.
you. Just here, just to
Yeah.
keep track. Yes. Oh, I cannot.
Oh, try preview. If you click on preview, does it show the
Oh,
person?
I don't know. Probably not. Oh, I think this should do the thing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
working. I don't. I mean, I know there's more people in the chat, but I don't have their usernames.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put it. Feel free to share feedback about possible solutions for this.
Mhm.
And then an unprofessional the smiley face. Oh, okay. I got the username. Oh, I wanted to copy that, but I know that doesn't work. It's
uh,
sci-fi samurai. I mean, probably that's not gonna ping you, but at least you're tagged here. So
yeah.
okay,
Oh, look at
good.
that.
So we managed to submit two PRs actually.
Yeah.
One for FactoryBot. Sorry,
And
for FactoryBot Rails. Was it for Rails?
I think
Yeah,
so.
this
Yeah.
one just drop support for Ruby 3. Yeah, that's. Let's
Yeah.
see if they. I mean, also that one brought a lot of discussion. If like, hey, how long should we maintain a version? Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I also agree that it's kind of hard to define, and I know people is still using, but I mean, I don't want to get thoughts on how you maintain your code base, but I think it's probable that if you are not upgrading your Ruby version, you might not be upgrading any of your gems. So that's
Hmm.
probably. But again, that's just like a vague idea. Uh, but cool. I mean,
Yeah.
we still have some time, but probably we might not have like a lot of time to try to do something else. So and also I know Stephanie, you're gonna leave in a couple of minutes, but probably we have some time for kind of a Q&A in general. I don't think it's like Q&A specific to FactoryBot, but in general, especially like I want to take advantage of you being here and being a contributor for another open source project. So if people have questions, definitely for Stephanie, for myself, about thoughtbot, about open source, about whatever you want, definitely it's a good time to do those while we have Stephanie yet here.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't have questions, I do have questions because even though we're coworkers, we don't talk a lot and we don't have a lot of chance.
Yeah.
Uh, for Faker, what is the? I mean, for example, for FactoryBot, we have seen like, okay, this seems to be the issue, like something that it's been here for several years, and it's the thing that anyone wants to have a fix, or anyone wants to get fixed, but no one has the answer on what should be a good fix for Faker. Well, first of all, if you can talk about Faker just for people who is not familiar, and if you have identified what is the issue for Faker, if any.
um. Sorry, could you ask again?
Yeah, first, that if you can talk about Faker.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, Faker is way less. It has it does way less than FactoryBot does. It has a bunch of generators, but it's not that. I don't want to use the word complicated. It's not that complicated. The code itself is also way less complex than the FactoryBot. So for those who don't know, Faker is a library that you can use to generate random data. Um, we don't have lots of those very more gnarly issues. It's something